Thank you, Ciarán. Minister, when is it going to rain? That's the question I would have, is like, when is it going to rain? I represent Limerick City. I'm sure yourself, you have the same issues that come up in your constituency clinics whenever you have them. People who can't access a house. I know for a fact in Limerick there's roughly 70 council houses that are boarded up, owned by the council. They don't have the funding to do them up. Minister Murphy tells me every time I ask him that funding isn't an issue, but the council staff, and I spoke to some of them again today, are stressed to the gills because they know they're under pressure from people who see their houses in their local communities boarded up, and families and members and friends of theirs will be in emergency accommodation. So if that's not a rainy day, I don't know what is a rainy day. Minister, the hospital in my constituency, University Hospital Limerick, is the most overcrowded emergency department in the state. Almost 12,000 people waited on trolleys last year. Again, I'd like to know, how would you define rain when you don't put the money into that? You haven't delivered the 96 beds, which is critically needed. Third level funding for third level institutions in the state, again, is causing a huge concern for people. I've met local universities myself, where they tell you that they're totally underfunded. Infrastructure, there is no funding properly put into the infrastructure. For instance, the Limerick to Cork roadway hasn't been delivered, hasn't been progressed as fast as is needed. We're facing into, what, 22 Dáil days now before we face the calamitous Brexit, where the UK are probably going to crash out of the Union. And we see if the heads of bills you produced last week with the policies and solutions are coming up in the business department, nothing new in that, no actually additional stuff in that. What you've done is you recycled a bill that's been floating around since 2017. There's no new proposals in there. We have a loan for business, which most business will tell you they can't access it. So, Minister, when would you access the rainy day fund? What is for? The idea of a rainy day fund obviously is very good if it wasn't raining for so many people. And it's hard to understand why you're putting away money when we have critical situations in housing, in health. Deputy Buckley there referenced CAMS. I have a whole list of kids who are waiting 18 months to get assessed by CAMS, and I'll tell you that the issue is lack of funding. So, Minister, just to finish up briefly, the idea of a National Reserve Fund is a good idea if we had solved a lot of the critical problems that we have at the minute, and I don't believe we're actually anywhere near addressing those at the moment.
Thank you, Deputy Quinlivan.